this is David Stark from WatcherPass.com, and you might be wondering why I'm dressed up as such a sexy beast right now. This is not my real face. This is a mask. I know you're surprised, but you might be wondering why I'm looking like this, and that's because I'm reviewing the new Netflix series Sexy Beast, which is releasing on Netflix on July 21st, 2021. You might have seen the trailers. If you haven't, you should definitely watch it because the trailer is fantastic. It gives you a good sense of what this film is about, or the series is about. It's a dating show where the cast members, it's one person dating three people, and each of them is dressed up in just this ridiculous prosthetic setup. It's hilarious and scary and unsettling, but also still hilarious and amazing. It's a lot of things, and I loved everything about it. But you've got like someone dressed up as an ox, and then he's dating someone dressed as a dolphin, and then someone dressed as a crone, and so then someone also dressed as like a mouse. Like, why not? And the prosthetics are really well done, so they look just unsettling enough, but they kind of match with the faces, and with the eyes are still there, so you can see their eye expressions. You see a lot of their expressions as they just look ridiculous, and they wear these prosthetics throughout the dates, and then eventually the person will have to trim one. They'll go on a quick first date with all three of the contestants, and then the person will pick one person, and that person gets trimmed off. But before they go, they reveal what they look like. So here you go. I'm going to reveal what I look like. Oh, hey, look, it's me. I'm not actually the Cookie Monster. So, and so what happens, they'll reveal the first person. The first person will get their prosthetics off. They'll show them, and then it'll be like, oh, did I make a big I hope I didn't make a big mistake, because that person was pretty attractive, and I'm they're really nice looking. We'll see. Then they go on another date with the remaining two people, and this is a little bit of a longer date. They think they kind of go on a date, and then they have a drink after, so you get a little bit of a better sense of the person. And then after this, the contestant will pick one person as their sexy beast, and so the person that they didn't choose will have their prosthetics taken off, and you see who they are, and they also meet the contestant without their prosthetics. And so this is they meet, they see each other, and then the person waits for their final, their chosen sexy beast, who gets revealed without their prosthetics. And it's so absurd, but it is so fun. Okay, so I'm going to go into three things I liked about this series, three things I didn't like, and just kind of give a sense of it. But if you can't tell, I really enjoyed this film. The first thing I loved is just how absurd it is. Like, it feels like this is a crazy progression in our reality TV show dating series, but it is so much fun to see these people in these just ridiculous outfits dating and trying to like actually make a connection, and some of them do, joke about it. They'll have like someone who is like a dolphin talking about, the sea, or someone who's like dressed as a rooster talking about his gobbler or ball sack on his chin. Like, you'll see funny things like that, but and so just seeing these people dating in this setup is just hilarious. And then sometimes like they'll try to kiss, and so you'll have to like move your prosthetic nose out of the way, or even if they're drinking, they'll have to like drink around this ridiculous setup. And it's just so much fun to see, and so much fun to see like these people going into normal scenarios with these just insane looking features. And the second thing I liked, people did actually get into this, not only into like the sexy beast side of it, but people did try to find dates and try to gauge people's personalities without the prosthetics. I mean, I think there were they were trying to get like find connection and see how their personalities merged, and how their goals merge and things like that. And it was I think that was interesting to see. It was interesting to see people try to like come up with a connection, and merge, trying to come up and see how they fit with this other person when you really didn't know what they look like. I mean, to be fair, most of the people were conventionally attractive, so there usually wasn't a bad choice. But it still is a leap of faith that you have to go through when you don't know what this person looks like, but you're just kind of gauge how our goals and life experiences and hopes and what we want in life merge. And so I thought that was a really interesting, there was some interesting conversation and some interesting analysis in there. And the last thing I love is the reveal. Like, the reveal, like every single time I held my breath, because you want to know what this person looks like, because you kind of got used to this person as like mouse guy or as like dolphin girl or like crone lady. And then when you see them, after they've been revealed, you always want to know, like, did they look like what I thought they would? Do they look completely different? Like, am I surprised? And my wife and I were talking. We try to like gauge, like, we think that what this person we think they look like. And sometimes you're right, sometimes we were completely wrong, and that was a lot of fun. So things I didn't really love about it. One is kind of, there was like extra reality parts about it. I felt like, during the rose ceremony, whatever you want to call it, when we have to cut someone, you know, they were trying to give reasoning, and they would always like, it always felt like they were coming up with something negative. And sometimes it was like a minor thing that they would like latch onto. Other times it would almost be contradictory. Like, well, I loved our conversation, but I think you want something more serious. And then this other person would be like, well, I loved our conversation, but I think you want something a little bit, I don't think you're a serious person. And you're like, it always felt like they were coming up with something negative, and it just felt artificial. Like, why not just say, I loved our conversation. I liked this about you. I like this about you, but I'm gonna have to cut someone. I mean, I guess they were trying to rationalize it or trying to come up with something good for the show. But it just felt unnecessary. And again, it's a minor complaint. I mean, this is a silly series. It's a lot of fun to watch. So there's not really a ton that I didn't love about it. The second thing I didn't love is sometimes it felt like, maybe the contest was not intentionally, but the costumes might be weighted against someone. Like, you had this one set where it was like, maybe I forget what they actually were, but one of the characters was like this old witch, and the other characters weren't that level. And so, in your mind, you're like, well, this person's already at a disadvantage because, you've got strangely anthropomorphic pigeon, and then you've got the witch, and then you've got like strange dolphin lady. And so it felt like maybe sometimes just through randomness someone could be unintentionally having their looks judged because of their prosthetics. And I kind of wish that maybe in the next season of this film, I hope there's another season, I hope in the next season they maybe have themes to have it be kind of equal. Like, maybe you've got dog, cat, and rabbit lady, rabbit people, or we got like witch, vampire, and Frankenstein. Like, just keep it even so that then you don't have these like unintentional uses of looks, even though that the people don't look like that. I think maybe it could subjectively affect how you choose. And there were a few instances where I thought maybe like subjectively this person, because of their prosthetics, was chosen to be cut. So again, another minor complaint. It's still really fun to see. And the last thing I didn't love is the narrator, because at the start, he was kind of, maybe this was just the first couple episodes, he was kind of ragging on these people for making he was ragging on this person for making like physical attraction comments in this film, or in this series. And I understand that it's like the series is supposed to be about personality and not judging based on looks, but attraction is a component of looks and personality. Like, maybe some people are more on one side and some people are on the other, but they're not completely divorced. And so I empathize with these people that are trying to figure out what this person looks underneath, because that is a component of what they are trying to choose. And the narrator would kind of like get mad at them, essentially. I mean, he's not actually talking to them while they're doing it. It's kind of like a you don't know Jack, Cookie Masters type of narrator. And that just felt kind of, it felt unnecessary, and it felt kind of weird, because if they're actually trying to find a match, then that will be a component of whether or not they match. Now the narrator did grow on me, and he was really funny in some instances. Like, he had some funny comments, so he's not all bad. Like, the narrator is actually pretty good, and he's kind of a nice voice, go overlaying this series. So again, all three things are minor. I really liked this series. I didn't expect to like the series. I thought it was gonna be terrible, and it is terrible, but it's also wonderful. It's this really crazy dating show that just has, it's so absurd that it is just so fun to watch. So I definitely think you should watch it. It's 22 minutes. Watch one or two, see if you like it. You'll probably like it, and you'll probably watch all of them. There's only 6 episodes. You can binge through it in a night or a couple nights, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really ridiculous concept that just kind of works. It works in all sorts of levels. And you did kind of see some of these people try to find their matches. And actually, my wife and I were talking after some of the episodes. We're like, I think they're going to make it. Like, I think that they kind of, their personalities merge, and you get these really, lovely, hopefully lovely relationships coming from this just insane show. And I bet it's a fun story to tell when you meet other people and you're trying to tell your relationship story. So that was Sexy Beasts. It's coming July 21st, 2021 to Netflix. Definitely stream it, definitely watch it. It's really insane and so much fun. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.